Choose a gambit. Let's go with Farmer's Gambit to make a random card in my deck cost 2 less power. Right, Bishop. It's non-playable for 1 run though. I'm white and my opponent is black. Right, so those pieces are turned into cards. Here's my king and here's my opponent's king. The goal of this game is to capture my opponent's king. I'll immediately start the game by adding a pawn in front of my king. Let's move my king right there. I want to bring it closer next to the middle, because eventually the entire board will start shrinking and it will shrink from the edges. Now let's actually go with the 0 cost bishop. Okay, but it's unplayable for 1 run, so I cannot do it. Let's just simply go with rook then. Let's place it right there, immediately threatening my opponent's king. And let's place my own king right there. Now my opponent deploys a pawn. Moves his king right there. Now got 1 power, so I could either deploy pawn or just simply skip my turn. I'll deploy a pawn right there, guys. Let's go. And let's move my king right there. Right, my opponent deploys a bishop, threatening my pawn. Alright, but it seems like a mistake. I can just simply immediately take over it, guys, right? Let's just simply deploy right there, threatening my opponent's king, putting him into check. And I can even take it with this pawn, guys, but I'll just simply go with king. But I'll just simply go with rook. Let's go. Let's take over this, and my opponent deploys a pawn, guys. He cannot take over this pawn because when I would just simply took his king with my king. Let's go, he cannot take over this rook either because of this pawn. Now where deploy a pawn, guys. Let's just simply threaten my opponent's king as well for another time, guys. Let's go. And I cannot take over this pawn because this pawn is protected by this pawn. I have to make a move, guys, right there though. Let's just simply go right there. Right, my opponent goes up with his king and doesn't deploy any piece. Let's just simply push my opponent with another pawn, guys. Okay, well, right there it's limited. Those squares are limited only right there, guys, where my king is. So unfortunately, cannot do anything about that, but alright. Another pawn, guys. Do I want to place it? As of now, I do not want it. I'll just simply save up my power. Let's go. Let's press skip and let's go back with my king, because otherwise it will be taken by my opponent's pawn. And so right, so my opponent is threatening this rook. Let's actually go with a knight. I'm going to place it right there. And you have to move away my rook, guys. I'm going to put it right there, actually. Not closer to the edge, guys. Alright, so my opponent threatening my pawn, bishop. Alright, well, I cannot deploy it yet, guys. So I'm just simply going to skip this, and I'll take over my opponent's... Well, I take over this pawn, my opponent takes over this pawn, guys. Maybe I'll just simply go like this, man. Let's take over this pawn. Alright, well, my opponent deploys a pawn, guys, and yes, takes over this pawn. Alright, so he's protecting this pawn, guys. Smart play by my opponent. I have to move away my rook. Let's see another pawn. Let's just simply place a knight. Let's place it right there. Let's move away my rook, and I'm going to place it right there, threatening my opponent's pawn, guys. Alright, well, he places a knight. Smart move by him, guys. I mean, he's either taking over my king or this rook. Obviously, I have to protect my king, guys, but I can deploy a pawn. Well, he cannot deploy by this pawn right there, guys. I went to threaten my opponent's king. So unfortunately, he just simply have to skip this. And just simply take over this, guys, and my opponent will take over my rook. Very smart. Well, didn't even notice what this square wasn't safe at all, guys. Alright, so we'll just simply go for a vine, man. Let's see, so I cannot take over this, apparently, because when this knight takes over my king, guys, should be more careful. Should I skip it, guys? Or should I place somewhere in this place? Well, let's place it right there, guys, and let's move away with this one. Let's see, opponent. My opponent takes over this rook, guys. Yes, very smart play by him. Going to skip, I want to develop better pieces. Let's just simply move my knight right there. My opponent deploys a pawn, guys. Alright, so he's spamming a lot of pawns and he's threatening my knight and pawn right there. I'll still skip this, guys. I want to develop queen, guys. I'd like to get queen. Let's take over this, guys. I guess why I'm playing so aggressively, guys. I do not know. My opponent goes with this guy is threatening this knight. Not good. It seems like a free pawn, guys, but it isn't. It's also being protected by this pawn. Let's check. Well, I still can deploy bishop. That's very okay. Well, I have to skip this. And I have to move right there, I guess. Threatening this knight, guys, but my opponent can take over this pawn. This is what he does. Now I'll put... I mean, can I put a queen? If I put it right there, then it gets taken by this bishop. I want to take over this bishop with my knight, but when the king takes over the back. Let's just simply still deploy queen, guys. Okay, well, Okay, I see it, guys. I can still deploy this. Let's go. Here's queen, but red I take over my opponent's bishop. He can't take over it back because of this queen, guys, alright? Alright, so notice this play, guys, I almost miss it. And alright, so a free knight for me. Am I missing something, guys? Well, he takes over this knight, right? Well, no, because of this queen, guys. Let's skip it. Or I can take over this knight if I want. Well, let's actually take this one, guys. Let's go. Alright, my opponent goes red where, but he isn't threatening anything, right? Let's see, I can place opponent, I can place it red where to threaten this knight. Let's do it. And I can just simply take over my opponent's pawn red where, guys. Let's do it. I threaten my opponent's king. He takes over this horse, but okay, well, I didn't notice, guys, what red where. He basically protected this square, his king, from my queen. This is what this move was, guys. I didn't even immediately notice that. But let's just simply take over this, I guess. Right? So let's skip it. Okay, well, no. Let's take over knight, guys. Yes, definitely taking over it. Let's not miss this opportunity. My opponent is in check. He has to move out his piece. Now a rook. Can I deploy a rook, guys? Well, technically I could. Do I want it? Do I want that so far? Maybe I'll just simply still skip it. I'll just simply take over this piece. Let's do it. Let's see, my opponent takes over it back, guys. Okay, well, rook will last 2 cards right there for me, actually. So I think I have to deploy it. Well, maybe still not yet. I'll just simply take this. Let's do it. Right, well, my opponent doesn't take over this pawn. I've got a rook. Well, let's place this rook right there, guys, man. Yes? Now I can just simply move out with my knight. Let's do it. My opponent, alright, well, my opponent pushes right there, guys. I can just simply place my rook right there, guys, right? Yes, let's go. Alright, well, my opponent takes over this, guys. Not so good in this perspective, but that's fine. Let's just simply take over this pawn. Let's do it. Now this pawn is being protected. My opponent cannot do anything about it. Now let's go with a knight, guys. I am going to place it. I'm going to place it right there. So if my opponent goes with this pawn, guys, I'm basically immediately take over it. Right, now I can just simply take this with king, guys, right? Yes, my opponent cannot take over this. Okay, well, forgot the map strings, guys. Let's actually move. Let's skip it. Let's move it right there. Not going to use Revan, guys. I only want to use them when I just simply lose the game. Let's see, right? Well, let's skip this. Let's go right there before the map shrinks even more. Let's go now. Let's actually go with queen right there, guys. Let's do it. Let's skip this. Let's go with my king. Right, over time, alright, so the map even shrinks more, guys. Right where I think I see the winning move, guys, right? If I place my queen right where, basically that's a checkmate, right? Yes, it is. I just simply take over my opponent's king, guys, and I win the game right there. Let's go. Nice.